What we have here is a failure to take responsibility for a disastrous economy. Day after day, small business owners and their families take blow after blow to their bank accounts because of President Obama's so-called fair tax plan. I come up from a family who has built their own businesses from the ground up. My great-grandparents immigrated here from Poland and Italy and worked hard in steel mills to provide for their large families. As my grandparents grew older, they decided to create their own companies so they could be self-sufficient and pass something down to their children to provide for their families too. Now, through sleep-deprived nights, financial struggles, and 100-hour work weeks, my parents, grandparents, uncles, and aunts collectively employ about 500 people and are attempting to keep their businesses afloat during this recession. President Obama claims he is taking from those who are too well off and giving to those in need. But is that really the solution? President Obama is stripping the freedom from these small companies, ripping these job-creating institutions limb from limb because he considers them the ones who are stealing from society. Well, Mr. Obama, I would like to tell you one thing. I built that. Why are you attacking the companies that have created 65% of the new jobs over the past 17 years and employ half of all the private sector employees? Each week, my father tells me about a new regulation he must abide by or a new payroll tax that has been issued. When will it stop? Mr. Obama is strangling our economy one business by one, diminishing the labor force and increasing debt every day. We must put an end to this madness. Instead of hurting these job creators, entrepreneurs, and inventors, why don't we fuel their ideas and help them create more opportunities for everyone to succeed?
We all know why the economy collapsed 4 years ago. The U.S. housing market was not regulated. Wall Street had trillions of dollars worth of mortgage-backed securities that they sliced and diced and used as collateral. Bear Stearns, Merrill Lynch, and Lehman Brothers went belly up as millions of homeowners all across this country realized that their primary asset became their primary liability. Disposable income of Americans vanished, and had Social Security been privatized like Congressman Ryan wanted, our seniors retiring with dignity would have been a pipe dream. The Democrats do not reject capitalism. We believe in the idea of free enterprise, consumer choice, fiscal responsibility, and deficit reduction. We do not believe the government is the center of everything, and we do not reject the notion that government does not always have the answers. What we do reject here is the assumption that government cannot fix an economy that is shattered. The auto bailout saved 1 million jobs, and under President Obama, we have led ourselves out of the Bush recession that was losing 800,000 jobs a month and have created and sustained 5.2 million jobs. President Obama has cut taxes for 95% of American families, and that includes our veterans. Gallup Economy said that the unadjusted unemployment rate is now at 7.3%, and it is dropping. This president has not failed, and the economy and its recovery is alive and well.
We are facing an unprecedented economic crisis in this country. The government is consistently borrowing money, spending tax dollars recklessly, and our elected leaders cannot agree on a viable solution. We must face the facts. We have to cut government spending. U.S. defense spending is currently 7 times larger than the next highest country and 40% of the entire world. The war on drugs has failed, although the U.S. government continues to spend billions on it, $40 billion this past fiscal year. Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid currently take up around 44% of our annual budget, over $1 trillion. After calculating the growing number of retirees and population benefiting from these programs, we are on track to spend 100% of our budget on these programs alone. Moreover, the Federal Reserve, a privately owned entity, has no regulation or oversight and has been printing trillions of dollars to loan to foreign banks and to bail out failing companies. This is not a solution to our problems. Money and wealth cannot be created. It must be earned. Otherwise, it reduces the value of every dollar earned. The government is accruing debt at an unsustainable rate, yet they are sending the misleading message to the public saying that we can afford to continue the spending. Our credit is at risk of being downgraded again, which can have devastating effects on our inflation and, in turn, the value of our currency. If our currency loses value, all Americans that have any savings, retirement funds, or investments are at risk of losing everything. This is indeed a crisis. Solutions will not come from bipartisan efforts, but from nonpartisan efforts.
During this campaign, both candidates concentrated their efforts in convincing people either that the economy is bad and if it keeps going in this direction, it will get worse, or that the economy is bad but is recovering and headed in the right direction. I want to make quick comparative analysis with what's happening economically in other places around the world. The closest economy that can be compared to the US is the European Union. The biggest issue right now is unemployment. So let's see how is Europe doing on that and compare to what's happening here. Right before the economic crisis in 2008, the US unemployment rate was just under 5%, and in the European Union it was under 7%. And after the crisis, the rate increased quickly, both in the US and Europe. And after 2009, it started decreasing here in the United States until reaching under 8% in the most recent stats. At the same time, in the European Union, unemployment is still increasing. It's right now at 10.5% and it's still expected to increase. It is very important to understand that what is happening in the economy, in the US economy, is highly affecting other parts of the world and also is being affected by what's happening there too. The interdependencies of resources, supplies, markets, and economies in general make it crucial to be aware of international events. The world is watching the American economy closely, and America should be doing the same.